the dark inspiration behind Alice in Chains' Dirt, released on September 29, 1992. Dirt stands as one of the most powerful and haunting albums of the grunge era.
Alabate.
It is a deeply personal and emotionally raw collection of songs that reflect the inner torment, addiction, and existential despair experienced by lead singer Lane Staley and his bandmates. While many albums from the Seattle grunge scene addressed themes of alienation and depression, Dirt went further. It peeled back the layers of human suffering and confronted them with brutal honesty. The inspiration behind Dirt was not abstract. It was intensely real, drawn from the band's own experiences with drug abuse, trauma, and the struggle for meaning in a fractured world. At the heart of Dirt is Lane Staley's battle with heroin addiction. During the writing and recording of the album, Staley was already in the grip of substance abuse, and his lyrics reflect the anguish and helplessness of someone caught in a vicious cycle. Songs like Junkhead, Sickman, and Godsmack deal explicitly with drug use, not in a glamorizing way, but as confessions of dependency and despair. Staley does not preach or warn. He simply tells the truth. "What's my drug of choice?" "Well, what have you got?" He sings on Junkhead, revealing a brutal honesty that made many listeners uncomfortable, but also captivated them. However, Dirt is not just about addiction. It's also about pain, loss, and anger. The album was heavily influenced by the emotional turbulence in the lives of the band members, particularly Staley and guitarist Jerry Cantrell. Cantrell wrote much of the music and several lyrics, including the poignant Rooster, which was inspired by his father's experiences in the Vietnam War. Rooster is a deeply personal tribute to Cantrell's father, capturing the psychological scars left by combat and the generational pain that lingers long after the fighting ends. With its slow, brooding guitar lines and vivid lyrics, the song added another layer of emotional complexity to the album. Another key inspiration for Dirt was the band's growing disillusionment with fame and the music industry. After the success of their debut album Facelift and the breakout hit Man in the Box, Alice in Chains found themselves thrust into the spotlight. The fame did not bring peace or joy, it amplified their demons. In songs like them, Bones, and Angry Chair, the band explores feelings of nihilism, fear of death, and self-destruction. The heavy, sludgy guitar riffs and bleak lyrical themes reflected the suffocating pressure the band felt under the weight of expectation and addiction. Musically, Dirt drew from both grunge and heavy metal influences, creating a sound that was darker and more aggressive than many of their Seattle peers. The band used dense guitar layering, minor keys, and vocal harmonies to build a haunting atmosphere that mirrored the psychological depth of the lyrics. Staley's voice, alternating between tortured growls and eerie melodic phrases, became the emotional center of the album. His performance wasn't just technically strong, it was deeply felt. It wasn't acting, he was bleeding. Critically, Dirt was recognized for its unflinching honesty and artistic courage. It didn't offer easy answers or redemption arcs. Instead, it forced listeners to confront the raw truth of addiction, mental illness, and emotional devastation. The album resonated with fans who felt similarly broken or unseen. It gave voice to suffering in a way that was both beautiful and brutal. And in doing so, it became a cathartic experience for many. Tragically, the themes that inspired Dirt would continue to haunt Alice in Chains. Lane Staley's health declined in the years that followed, and his addiction eventually led to his death in 2002. Yet Dirt remains a lasting testament to his talent and truth-telling. It's more than a grunge album, it's a cry from the depths. An artistic document of a soul in turmoil. In conclusion, the inspiration behind Dirt was not drawn from fantasy or fiction. It was carved from real pain, real addiction, and real trauma. It reflected the darkest corners of human experience with unflinching honesty and artistic bravery. Dirt endures not just because of its musical innovation, but because it speaks to the wounded parts of all of us, reminding us that even in the depths of suffering, there is still beauty, truth, and the echo of a voice that dared to feel everything.